Hey y'all, and welcome to Be Finds Joy, where we are unapologetically living a joyous life boldly. In this video today, we are going to be talking about using a calendar to organize your expenses. I have found that this method really works for me as I am creating my budget because it helps me to see where all my expenses fall in the month. It also helps to remind me to make sure that I'm paying my bills on time, I'm not forgetting anything, which essentially has happened in the past. So we're trying to make sure that that doesn't happen for you. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, this video is a part of a larger series called Money Made Simple, the Budget Blueprint. And in this series, we are working to create a bold budget. A bold budget is one that you believe in, one that is objective, one that you can leverage, and one that you can depend on. We have gone through videos talking about needs versus wants. We've talked about how to understand your income and expenses. We talked about fixed and variable expenses. We've talked about debt. Now it's time to create the budget. So this is the fun part. You've done the work to get to this point. I'm so proud of you. And let's get it started. If you are not a part of the Joy Fam, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. We have fun over here. Like and comment. I think I got all the housekeeping things out of the way. So let's use this calendar to create the budget. We are using the Money Made Simple workbook. And so you can go onto my website at www.theboldjoyco.com to get this workbook. We are using it in every one of our videos, and it gives us the opportunity to get that hands-on experience using your own numbers to create this budget that we will have at the end of this course. For today's video, we are going to be on page 22 and 23. I'm going to show you how I typically create my calendar using my real numbers. So this isn't the first time I have done this. So the first thing that you need to do to create your calendar is I'm going to have you go back and think through your expense tracking. So if you haven't done this yet, this is an opportunity for you to look at previous months bank statements to see where your bills fall, your fixed expenses, your variable expenses. And what you want to do is start to organize your expenses into bills, into those fixed expenses. So the expenses that you know will come out every single month, like clockwork. If you don't pay them, someone's going to be calling you, someone's going to be looking for you. So what I want you to do is sit down and make a list of all of your fixed expenses. What I have done, which has been helpful to me, is in an Excel spreadsheet, I have a list of all of my fixed expenses with the due date attached to it. Now, you might notice that like some months your due date is like the 10th and the next month it's 11th, like depending on when it comes out of your account. So what I do is I pretty much try to figure out what date it typically comes out of my account, so that way I can start tracking that in the Excel spreadsheet. If you don't want to use Excel, you can use just your phone, your notes, you can write it down on a piece of paper. But since you know that you're going to be doing this every month as you create your monthly budget, it's helpful to already have those pieces together. So the first thing that you're going to do is make a list of all of your fixed expenses with the due dates. Once you have that together, then you are going to come over to your calendar. With your calendar, you'll then create the dates that go along with it. So we're just going to use February for our calendar. So February starts on a Saturday. So let me go through them. I'll add all these in and then I'll come right back. All right, so now that I've added all of the dates to my calendar, then I'm going to go to my Excel spreadsheet that I have, and I'll just quickly show you what mine looks like. So I have an Excel spreadsheet. Hold on. So these are all of my bills that I have for the month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the date that the bill typically comes out of my account, and I'm going to add that onto my calendar. Okay, so I filled out my calendar with all of my fixed expenses, basically all of the bills that will be coming out during the month. I don't put in here my variable expenses like gas, groceries, personal spending, because it fluctuates, right? So what I usually do is, then the way that I track my variable expenses is that at the end of each week, I'll go in and fill in each day of when I used a variable expense. So if I went to the grocery store on the 5th, I'll put the grocery name and then how much I spent. If I got gas on the 7th, I'll put gas and then how much it is. If I went and got my hair done on the 10th, I'll put hair and then how much it is, because I want to see how I am spending throughout the month. So now that I've created my calendar, this is how I use it. So I use my calendar to then help me plan out my budget when I'm a paycheck budgeter. So what you can do, there's two types that you could do. It's a monthly budgeter or a paycheck budgeter. Monthly budgeter, you'll go in and we'll do an example in one of our next videos. You'll essentially go in and put in all of this information for your fixed expenses, as well as what you are hoping to do for your variable expenses, as well as then you will put in kind of whatever money you have left over. If you are doing a zero-based budget, then you will figure out what you want to go towards your debt, your savings. For this course, we are talking about a zero-based budget because that is what I use, and that's what I find is typically helpful for people that are starting to budget or budgeting, or restarting to budget. There are other methods to budgeting, so you can check out one of my other videos in this series talking about the different methods. So essentially how I do my monthly budget, I'll go in and do the full month, and then I'll do a paycheck budget. So the way I do my paycheck is that we get paid on Friday. So for example, the 31st, is there 31 days in January? I think so. The 31st of January, I'll go in and I will pay all of my bills until that next Friday, until we get paid that next week. If you only get paid twice a month, you pay until you get paid you pay everything until you get paid the next paycheck. So for me, this Friday, I will go in and pay the mortgage, I'll pay the Apple, I'll pay CapCut, Disney Plus, Canva, Heat, and then I'm done for the rest of the week. This is helpful for me because I was finding before I was budgeting, I was forgetting to pay things and then I would be getting a late fee. So paying everything as soon as I get paid just really helps me to keep on top of my bills. Then come the 7th, I'll do the same thing. I'll pay everything from the 7th until the 13th. When I get paid the 14th, I'll pay everything from the 14th until the 20th. And then when I get paid the 21st, I'll pay everything from the 21st until the 27th. That is how I set up my budget and what has worked for me. I'll show you kind of what that looks like in a sample budget. We're actually going to have a video solely on creating the budget, but just to give you some context. All right, so I want to show you the sample of what a monthly budget would look like and how I would use it. So using this calendar. So I would go in and put in all of my income for the budgeted, then my fixed expenses. Now, there's only a number of lines. So what I typically do is a lot of I have a couple Apple charges. So like the Canva, the Disney Plus, the iCloud storage, that all is into one. So I put that all together. Some people, you can put all your utilities together if you want, if you have more fixed expenses than the lines. Then I'll go in and do my variable expenses, so gas, groceries, eating out, personal, miscellaneous, and then this down here is the plan. So whatever money I have left over goes into the plan. And then when I do the paycheck budget, all I'll do is put the income that I got for this specific paycheck, and then for the fixed expenses, for example, I would only put the fixed expenses for that week. So I would only, for the first paycheck of for this paycheck on the 31st, I would only put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6 expenses in this column. And then the same, I would do the same for variable expenses and plan, like the monthly budget. So that's how you set up your monthly calendar for you to stay organized during your budgeting process. Organization and consistency, I would say, are the two most important things that you can do when you budget. And so making sure that you have everything together, easy to find, is going to be very important for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some context of how you set up your own calendar for your budget. And then in the next video, we are going to be using a case study to create a sample budget. So this is the case study. Nope, throwing this page. So this is the case study that you be using to create this budget over here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like and comment. If you are not a part of the Joy fam, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. We have fun over here. Stay tuned for the next video in the series. We only have a couple videos left because by the end of this series, you're going to have a budget ready to go. So we only have, let me just see, we have 1, 2, 3 more videos to go, and then we are done with our budget. That's crazy. We are done with this course. 3 more videos. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your day. See ya. Bye-bye.